So, motherfuckers, here's my Valentine pizza, right? Am I a basic bitch yet, huh? Am I cringy enough for you? Pizza, it never lets me down. It's always there for me. It's so hot and sexy. Oh, baby. Oh, mama. Oh, ah.
Happy Valentine's Day, motherfuckers. So how's it going? I figured, you know what? Let's, if you're probably watching this video, you're probably a lot like me. You probably don't have anybody on Valentine's Day. No current girlfriend, no wife, no side chick, no whatever. So I figured, why not entertain you on such a glorious day, So the only good thing about Valentine's Day is I happen to be off today from work. So, I've got plenty of time to talk here and make a video and say pretty much what I want to say. So, what can really be said about Valentine's Day? Well, what is this day? First of all, people always talk about the heart. This is the first thing. People like to be very negative on Valentine's Day because they don't have anybody. Quite frankly, I'm quite happy I don't have anybody on Valentine's Day. And why am I happy about this? Well, first of all, I don't have to spend money on anybody. That's one thing. The other thing is that I don't have any fucking kids, because most people who get with a girl, they end up getting her pregnant and then their life goes. Everybody who I've known, they don't get any sleep. The baby's up all night. You got to tend to them. You got to make sure you get them ready for school. You got to pick them up from school. You got to have your work schedule revolve around your kids. And sometimes your job can't accommodate the situations with your children. Then you got to worry about your wife or your girlfriend getting upset with you. You get stressed out. And, so this is the thing, guys. I've already learned my lesson from moving in with my girlfriend. I mean, that's all I really needed to know. You know what I said? I was the same way like a lot of people. I was lonely. I was super negative on Valentine's Day. I used to put up them pussy statuses on Facebook, about not being able to find anybody. And I used to make oh, but I'm okay. And the thing was, you guys are going to notice, if you're having any girl trouble, or, you're having trouble finding somebody. See, I don't really like mock those kind of people if you're having trouble finding a girl, because like I was in that position too. I really was. I'm not very outgoing. I'm not the type of person to approach women and ask them out. It feels really awkward and shit. I met my girlfriend at my job that I used to be at. She was a fucking manager. And, we just ended up talking and everything. You exchange numbers with your manager and stuff in case they need you. And, that's how it was. But, it didn't work out. She was nuts. I gave up my apartment to be with her, and I had to move out. So it's like, never jump into anything. I just want to say that right now. Never jump into any relationship, even though you might be a little bit desperate like I was. I didn't weigh out my options, because also the thing was, I was getting dates at that time, but I was also taking a bit of a break at that time from dating, like what I'm doing right now. But it was like I was so sick of it, because I was meeting these people. Some people set me up on dates, some friends, and I got to just say, guys, if people are setting you up with their friends, don't say like no to it. Just be very wary is all I'm going to say, because there's a reason why those people are not finding dates. If girls need help finding these, I understand that there's a lot of bad guys out there, but if you got to be honest, it's kind of like, if you see a really good looking girl and she's single, just approach it with caution is all I'm going to say. Kind of like from my experience. I mean, it's like, why are these girls single, if they were so great, wouldn't they be taken? It's the same thing for guys. But we all know it's like easier for girls to find it because, most men are going to approach but it's different. That's why it's hard. You have all these analyses. People write books, write internet vlogs. There's magazines dedicated to romance and love and finding a relationship. And it's all bullshit because it's all over the fucking place. But all I'm going to say is weigh out your options. Go on those blind dates if you want to. Get people to play matchmaker, whatever it is. I'm just saying be wary. Weigh your options. The thing with me is I was kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. That little old cliche because, I was going online. I was going on POF. I was going on dates. I was wasting money. Now, I don't take anybody out to a fancy restaurant. Guys, it's McDonald's. It's coffee. It's Subway. It's one of these basic places and then go for a walk. That's the old recipe. If a girl wants to be taken out to a high-class restaurant the first few dates, she's not the one. That means that she's trying to get into your wallet and, forget about it. And the big thing with me is if a girl offers to pay, I love that. I will even say that about my ex. I will even say the fact that she offered to pay or she would kind of push my hand away when I go to fucking put the dollar bills down. If they do that, then that's a keeper right there. Yeah, that really is. That's a keeper. If the girl is offering to pay, that shows that she's not out for your money. That she just wants to spend time with you and go out to eat. But if she just kind of sits there and expects it, that's that I don't know about anybody else. Now I understand the thing is you got to offer to pay. You can't be a jackass about it. You can't be a moron about it. You've got to offer to pay. That's just being a gentleman and everything. Now, I know, we're going to say this stuff about equality and everything, and be that as it may, I make those jokes all the time. Oh, you feminists want equality? Well, equality is splitting the bill. That is, but, if you really like a girl and you ask her out, then it is your responsibility to show her a good time. You can't be an asshole about it, and you can't just be like, oh, well, you know what? Just let her pay. I don't want to waste my money. No, you got to at least offer. Do it for the first few meals. If you see that she's not offering, in my opinion, I say, that's it. Fuck that. Start going on to something else. So the other thing is the negativity around it. Stop being super negative and everything when Valentine's Day comes around. It's the point of this video I want to try to make. Stop, putting it out there that you're lonely and everything because let's be perfectly honest. Nobody cares. And I was in that position feeling like that. So I don't want to be mean, and I don't want to. I'm not that kind of person. Because, we've all been there and everything when we've had those droughts and, we couldn't find anybody. But the fact of the matter is this. It's like, you're going to find somebody eventually. Everybody fucking does. I don't even care if the person is super ugly. Because the thing is, it doesn't even matter what looks. You know how many hot girls I've seen with guys? Oh, and people say, oh, it's money. It's money. It's not always money. It really isn't. You would be surprised, even, girls that know they're hot, for some reason, these guys, they just end up together. That's just life. It's just a lot of mental stuff that's just, you would be surprised. You would think it's so black and white, right? Good-looking girls get with good-looking guys, and vice versa. And you would say oh, the least attractive girls are going to get with the least attractive guys. And that might be the case. That might be the case a lot of the time, but it isn't all of the time. And then, people will always ask, oh, how about, the guys that treat the girls like shit? Okay, so obviously we all know that this isn't everybody, but this is the case. And I have said this time and time again. I think that there is an upturn of mental disorders. And so I think that's the reason why you see this kind of situation most of the time. Um, I don't really have an explanation for it. You know, why women allow themselves to get treated this way. It's like an underlying thing. They think they deserve this. There's a thing about um, their confidence being lowered by these guys. They kind of give them little jabs. I happen to know quite a few people like this. So it says something also about the guy. They both have disorders that are having them act this particular way. Why would a guy even want a girl that thinks that lowly of themselves? And even if they are hot and they look tremendous, it really just shows that this world is fucked up pretty much. So, but that's not everybody. And the thing about how a lot of girls are, they say that they want a good guy and they get with the because the thing is, okay, I understand that too. A lot of these guys don't never throw yourself. I've made this mistake time and time again. Do not throw yourself, because I even, believe it or not, and I remember I had a friend like this too, that even told me this. I even had complained to him one time. We had got back from the bar, and just like I wasn't seeing anybody. It's just I thought going to the bars was going to get me girls, and it didn't. It's going to the wrong bars and stuff like that, the dives and everything. Just because I don't really like the trendier bars at all. People like to hang out at. So I always like the biker bars more. I always like those dive bars more. So, I wasn't really going to meet anybody except like older people that are not really looking for people my age. So I was discussing with him and said, I can't really find anybody right now. And he says, you know what? You're going to just get to a point in your life where, well, you're going to just find your niche in society. You're going to find your niche with women. And he says, you're going to find that you're just sometimes you're not even going to want to be with certain girls. And that's how I am now. So he was absolutely right about that. It's just you're gonna feel bad about yourself for a time. I think everybody is. They're just gonna have that slow point in their life, and I think it's like you mature, and then you realize that there's not really a whole lot to this romance stuff. It's bullshit. There's a lot of people that tell you that you want to get with somebody and everything. And then, there's going to be a lot of people say, oh, so what are you saying, Brad, that you don't want to get laid? I mean, like, what's wrong with you? And then you're going to kind of realize that it's like, after you get it a lot, you're kind of going to want to slow down, and you're going to like say like, okay, well, I don't need to do this all the time. And that's like how I am now. I'm not saying that I don't have urges. I get them all the time. But the thing is, it's like, you're not going to want to like keep going out there. I mean, at least it's not like me. I'm not that like obsessive where I got to be with a girl every single night. I've got to get tail at every single moment of the day. If you're like that, I'm sorry, then you're a sex addict. You really are. You have problems. You need to focus on other avenues of life. But you're gonna realize that eventually. You're gonna be like, that's not everything. You're gonna be so obsessed, because at that point in time, you're gonna be, trust me, you're gonna be the same way. You're gonna like question your looks. You're gonna question your personality. And the thing I was gonna say is about throwing yourself. This is what I was gonna say, because you're also at this stage in the game. So when you see a girl that seems remotely interested in you, I'm gonna tell you, like, I did the same thing. You're going to want to constantly text this girl. You're going to want to constantly call this girl. You're going to want to do everything in your power to secure this relationship with this girl. And you're going to put all your firepower behind it. I mean, you're going to fucking wheel out the tanks, bring out the heavy artillery and shit, making sure that you secure your spot before any other guy does. And she's not going to want you. And why? Because it's too much. I had the same thing, too. that it got to a point where I was dating a lot of people, and then I started getting annoyed, actually, when I was getting texts and phone calls. It's very hard to describe, but you feel crowded. And that's the thing of why I just don't want anybody right now, because I just hate that crowded feeling. I hate having to know that I have to fucking answer the text right away, that I have to call right away before I get out of work. Fuck that shit. I don't like not having freedom. Let me tell you something. Living with my girlfriend was such a bad experience, because if I wasn't like home like that, or I didn't call or text at that proper time, then, it was like curtains, basically. You know what it is? You feel like you're on lock. You feel like you've got a ball and chain around your fucking ankle. You feel like you're doing hard time. And yeah, I mean, it was great. You go home, you get lucky, most days out of the week. It's nice, laying there in bed with them, cuddling and shit. Especially like I'm saying, if you got a very good looking girl, and you're in love with them, it's really nice, like waking up next to them. But soon that allure fades. I don't know. Some people, it will last a lifetime. It doesn't know, but I'm saying, but when you have problems, this is the other thing I need to really explain to people. Please, 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 please do some thinking before moving in with a chick, because you're going to do exactly what I did. You're going to want to secure that person, right? And what better way than to move in with them, right? That way, I mean, you're in, right? And the thing is, you don't know a person until you live with them. And that is when you're going to feel crowded as fuck. You're going to feel like it's super awkward. You don't know what to do. It's just like, it got really awkward. Like I'm saying, like, it got to the point, it's like, I want to do a YouTube video. And it's like I had to wait until she went to work. We had, when I made my return to YouTube, when I took a few months off from my channel, it was like I didn't really care about anything else at that time. Video games, the gym, I stopped working out. I mean, and the gym was everything to me. Just like it is now, because I returned to my former self. See, that was the funny thing. I noticed that she was all I could think about. And then when I moved in, I noticed that I started moving back to the way how it was. And you guys saw that I returned to YouTube. You guys saw that I started getting my gains back. And then I just moved out, because it was like that. I've been like that a lot of points in my life, where I start thinking a certain way, and then it's like my classic self starts to fucking return. And that's exactly how it was. So you really need to think about these major life-turning decisions. It was like, I was so loose at that time. I was going to work. I was going to the gym. I was living by myself. It was wonderful. And then it was like, I didn't like it. It was because, I wanted to just have the food that I wanted to eat. And she doesn't eat the same stuff. I had this lifestyle of going to the gym so frequently, and it just wasn't that way. And it was just so awkward. Like I said, it's like doing things in the house together. It just, man, this is what I'm saying. It's so important that if you're going to be with somebody, they need to really be your significant other. And there is that's not just a term. Like, they need to be like a part of you. You need to be in sync. And we weren't in sync. I mean, we were coexisting, but, I'm just saying, it's like, this is why do not jump into anything major, because you're going to end up just fucking your life over, basically, like I did. You're going to give stuff up. You're going to give up characteristics that make you be who you are, just so you could be with this person. And I felt that, like, I had to change a little bit. And, everybody does it. They put that allure on, at first. And then I'm going to say, you're going to learn that none of that's true. Like, I remember the most hilarious thing that she did was when we first met, she talked about Kill Switch Engage, and she knew how much I liked metal, and she knew that that was my favorite genre of music. And so she talked about Kill Switch Engage, and I was like, yeah, I really do like them a lot. Not one of my favorite bands, but hell, I mean, I like them because she was like, "Oh, you listen to metal." She had asked me at work like, "What type of music do I listen to?" Or she might have seen what I was listening to on my phone at the time, my iPod, and she talked about she showed me on her phone she had Kill Switch Engage on there, and then I learned a lot later on that she didn't really like Kill Switch Engage all that much. She liked a few songs from them, and it was just a way of relating to me. She really didn't listen to them. She was more Bruno Mars and listening to Top 40 on the radio. And then at the time, that's when Pharrell Happy came out, and she was like, she liked that song. So I was like, we really didn't, have all that much in common. It kind of, just, and you got to kind of give credit to her. She did try to find a way to woo me. That was just one of the many ways. But I'm just saying, it's like it turned out to be a lie. Then I learned later on that she just had said that basically just to get in my good graces, so we would have something in common. And you can't fault them for that, but it's like you're gonna learn later on as you get with people that they're just not as great as you thought they were. So it's really funny, the techniques and the thought process of going into a relationship. It's very weird. Like, romance is the weirdest thing. This is why you have people even saying, like, is there even such thing as love? There is. I mean, come on. Guys, look at your grandparents. It's this day and age we're living in. I've said this time and time again. The internet killed relationships. People could sneak around so much more easily on the internet, due to DMs and private messages and all this type of shit that's going around. People are not trustworthy. And the thing is, it's like, I understand when girls don't want to get with the nice guy, because it's the same thing with me. It's overcrowding. It's too nice. It's like, I've even had girls, like I said, that I've turned down. And I don't know if that makes me a bad person, that they were super nice, but I felt crowded because the super nice people are very fucking talkative. And I know people, who know me even say that I'm talkative, and I really am. The way how I am in my videos, I do have a lot to say in life. I do. Now, the funny thing is that a lot of people, when they look at me, I've learned this, that they think I'm mean at first, because I'm not very outgoing is what it is. But once I get to know you, if I work with you for an extended period of time, or I'm around you, and I get a good vibe off of you, I'm gonna be talkative, and we'll start talking about a lot of things. And people have even said, like, man, you're pretty talkative. Like, you really are. And I am. I do. I have a lot to say. I mean, especially when it's a topic I'm interested in, or you spark something in me that I'm passionate about. I'll fucking tear it up with you in a conversation, and that's how it is. So sometimes I catch people off guard. See, but I'm not one of those outgoing people. I already said that, so that kind of hurts me in terms of society, and finding different types of people. But this is the thing. It's I might have been sitting at a bar one time, and there might have been the girl of my dreams walking in, and I probably ignored her ass. You know what I'm saying? It's if you're not outgoing, if you're not one of those people that just reaches out to everybody, you're kind of cutting your possibilities out. But I'm not really here to tell you to do that, because I'm not that kind of person either. But the thing is, that's my strongest advice. Don't come on too strong to anybody. It's not worth it. If they are the one, then it will be. I am a big believer in that. You will be guided down that path if it is meant to be. And I know people get uncomfortable when I talk about God and everything, but he does have a plan for you. And you guys know that I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not one of these people that shoves religion down your throat. But I am very spiritual and I believe in God. And if he wants you to go down a certain path, he ain't going to fucking throw a girl at you. I'm telling you that right now. So if you're there praying for a woman, that's not what he does. They even say that on the Christian dating sites that, you know, God's not going to find you a woman. You got to do that yourself. God's just like saying to you basically like, what you want me to get your tail? Yeah, I'm not doing that. So basically, he wants you to get off your ass. But the thing is, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You know, you ever think things happen for a reason? My mom would say that all the time, and she was absolutely right. And I know some people have a problem with that. You know, things happen for a reason because they don't think that, but that does have to do with God. Because setting these things into motion, they are meant to be. You know, if something is not working out, abandon ship. That's the other thing I got to say. Don't repair anything. See, that's the smart thing that I did. The fact that when I lived with my girlfriend, I had the problems like few months into living with her, and we even started having problems even prior to that. So the thing is like, but I was stupid. I tried repairing it, but you know, you kind of saw that I fucking abandoned ship right away because I was like, fuck, I'm not wasting my time with this bad relationship. Life is too short. That's the thing, also, guys. Don't be so quick to tie yourself down. I don't care what society says and everything. See, this is why you guys should be thankful to have me here on YouTube. Because you guys know my politics. You know I'm a conservative, but I'm also honest. You know, I am pro family and all this, and I want people to have children. I want the population to continue to grow on this planet. Not too many people, because see, that's the funny thing. I hate people, but I am still pro human. That's the funny thing. I really have to say that. You know, but the thing is, I will tell you this: do not rush into anything just because tradition says that you have to. I mean, that's how it is with me. That's what's funny about me. It's like, I want to see people get together. I want to see people get married. It really depresses me to see the growing divorce rate in this country that will only get higher and throughout the world. I mean, the thing is, you know, you kind of have to think about this. You are going to be with this person, and you're expected to be with them from death do you till you part. So the thing is, it's like you have to really like this person quite a bit. And then if you have a kid with them, I'm sorry, but like I've explained this to one of my friends most recently who wanted to get with a girl that had a kid. I says, I'm sorry, but I don't care what anybody says. That is a bad idea because that girl is always going to be tied to that guy because she had the kid with him, and you know, he's going to want to see his kid. And sometimes, you know, the guy might be a deadbeat and he's not really around. But why would you want to be around a woman at that age when you're still young, like 30 years old or whatever, you know, in your 20s? Why would you want to get with that girl that already has a kid? Don't you want to have your own kid with her? So don't start getting into complicated relationships. I know it sounds horrible. Oh, what if the girl's really nice? What if the girl is really genuine? What if it's legit? You know, I really don't care. Just don't do it. You know, I'm just saying it's a bad idea, and you would probably be better served to just start fresh. And I know a lot of people said this, like, oh, if you're like in your late 20s and you're still single and don't have a kid, you have to accept the fact that you're going to be a stepfather. I've seen this meme all over the place, and that might seem like a fact, but I have met a lot of girls that still don't have a kid, and they think kind of like I do, that they're very careful. They don't go sticking their private parts everywhere. So, you know, there's a lot of wise people out there. So that's what I'm saying. Girls, don't just assume that every guy sticks their dick everywhere, because I'm proof that that's not true. And I know that people are not even going to believe that I'm saying that, but it is. And a lot of other guys are probably nodding in approval. A lot of people are shaking their head. Oh, this guy doesn't get any pussy. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, I mean, come on. The thing is, I'm being honest in here for the benefit of making a point. And girls, I mean, girls don't exactly spread their legs for everybody. Let's be perfectly honest here. You know what I'm saying? Stop always thinking like that. See that I know, like I said, like I'm anti like feminazi and stuff, but you can't also assume that every girl is a slut. You can't always assume that every girl spreads their leg. You have to give some people the benefit of the doubt. When the shoe fits, then I understand, but it doesn't. The shoe doesn't always fit, is what I'm going to say. So and if you go out there like and you want to find a girl, you can't just assume that every girl is dirty, because you're gonna be super suspicious and everything like that, and it's not going to end well, basically, because you're just going to be thinking so negative when you're out there, and it's going to hurt you in the end. It really is. You're not going to find a person with that negative attitude of everybody's a slut, and girls are not going to find a guy with the, oh, men are pigs and men only think about one thing and everything, and that's the case. But the thing is that men that only think about one thing. It's also what I hate about that expression is, okay, well, you as a woman, you probably want to have that guy thinking about that one thing just about you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're doing something wrong if he's thinking about one thing with everybody else. You kind of have to make the effort. And that's the other thing I have to say. That is where I will say this one thing that the guys have over the girls, and this is where I'm losing the girls. And I look at my statistics. I know there's not a lot of girls that watch this channel, but for the 5%, the 5.1%, whatever it is, that okay, girls, you need to make more of an effort, because I am seeing that lacking nowadays. It really is, because I even see it with my own friends. Okay, I understand that guys can be a little bit too much and everything, but whatever the case may be, you could even speak up a little bit and tell them if you like a guy to ease up on it. But you also have to make more of an effort. You really do. You have to, you can't expect the guy to do all the work. You have to be interesting. I'm sorry, but your looks are not enough. The looks, like everybody says, is going to fade in time. And that, I'm just not just talking about aging and wrinkles. I'm talking about the fact that your allure, your sex appeal and everything is not going to carry you throughout a relationship. You have to be interesting. You have to have interest. You have to have thoughts. You have to have opinions. You have to have convictions. You have to be an individual. You have to have a personality. That is basically what I'm saying. I'm sorry, but you have to get beyond the frappuccinos and the handbags. I'm just saying, if you really want to get a guy and keep a guy, sometimes you have to be a little bit more like a guy, and you got to talk about yourself. You have to talk about your aspirations. You have to talk about what your desires are in life. You got to be more open. That is exactly what was lacking from my ex. Not talking enough. And this is what I don't understand. There's the old adage that girls never shut up. But nowadays, it's like, when they do talk, it's a lot of fluff. But girls, you really need to, get more substance, is what I'm saying. And that part has nothing to do with testosterone or estrogen or anything, or the way how women are. I'm sorry, but you guys got to have more substance. You really do, because I've noticed that in this current age, it's just like you guys have completely shut down. You've kind of convinced yourself oh, well, I don't need any effort. Let the guy do all the effort. If he really likes me, he's going to put in the effort. That in turn leads to guys trying too hard. And I understand that that's more upsetting than anything, being crowded by a guy, just like a guy doesn't like being crowded by a girl. Most of the time, well, in some cases, whatever the case may be for that particular individual, some people might like being crowded. Other people, like myself, don't. But a guy is going to go into overdrive. If he really likes you, he is going to put all his effort into, wooing you. And when you're just an empty vessel, see, this is the thing. Guys, just stop right there. I mean, if you really see like you got to put that much effort into this girl and she still seems empty, first of all, I got to ask, what do you even see in her? Second of all, I mean, the thing is, it's like when I understand. When a girl's really attractive and really looks good, you want to be with that person. But I know this is very, very hard because you're going to be like thinking with your dick and you're going to be thinking, on lust alone. You guys got to remember, there's a difference between love and lust. Now, I get it. I really do. But the thing is, you got to think beyond. If you're going to put that much effort into trying to woo somebody and they're just kind of like there, you got to kind of think like, okay, a few months from now, this girl doesn't really have a lot to offer. Now, could you imagine a few months from now when that initial lust ends? You know what I'm saying? And you've already, and it's all over, said and done. There's not going to be a whole lot left to talk about. There's not really going to be a whole lot left to this relationship. And you got to remember that. It's like if you're going to try that hard, you're wasting a lot of time is what I'm just saying. So there you go, guys. I mean, whether you're a girl and you're alone with your 9 cats or you're just a guy, tirelessly trying to find a date on the internet, all I just want to say is happy Valentine's Day, guys. This video went way longer than I expected, but it was kind of like a personal, I want to explore certain things. I know I've talked about, guys and girls and how relationships don't work out. But I kind of wanted to put forth a bit more advice, like my personal experiences, and just like kind of share some stuff, because on Valentine's Day, it's like this is when everybody starts thinking about like love again. We shouldn't have to have a holiday to really think about it. I mean, it's a nice holiday. Yeah, I know everyone's going to who doesn't have somebody's going to put stuff up online about how they want to destroy the Valentine's Day supplies in the fucking department stores and things like that. And, girls are going to be like, I'm in love with pizza and stuff like that. I mean, I understand that, you kind of want to make yourself feel a little bit better. My cat is my boyfriend. My dog is my boyfriend. I mean, it's a little bit sad. It's just, guys, just take it easy on this holiday. Don't worry. Remember, just do you. Before anybody else, make sure that you work on yourself as a person before you work on anybody else. That's all I'm going to say. I know that it sounds self-centered and that a lot of people are going to say, that sounds very selfish and everything. But that's just the facts there, guys. It really is. Those are the cold, hard facts. And you really got to realize that right now. This is a holiday where, yes, it's all about love and happiness. But you've got to remember, guys, you've just got to remember that you as a person comes first before anybody else. So there you go, guys. Those are my thoughts and opinions. I don't know what to really tell you guys. Like that's just basically how I feel, about love in general. It really is. It's just like, it's a very tough thing. This is, like I said, this is why you have all these magazines and articles written about this shit, because nobody can figure it out. I mean, even the advice I give in this video, you might try it out. It might fail. And, like I'm saying, I can't really give you any, stone-clad advice. For example, how do you get a girl? I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. I can tell you, like, you'll definitely get a date if you go online enough and start messaging certain girls that appeal to you. I mean, all you got to do is kind of just get a little bit lucky and find somebody that's similar to you in certain ways, or somebody that likes your picture or whatever. You know, do whatever you got to do. You know, flex the guns and shit. You know, like what I'm saying. I don't know. You could go on Instagram. You could see if people live in your area and stuff. You could do all the little tricks that guys have been doing for years and years on the internet. Or you could go to the bar and just hope that one of the fucking schmucks there is, you know, a half decent person. But, you know, I can't tell you. I understand. It's like approaching somebody is fucking awkward as shit. It really is. And, you know, so I could give you that advice. But, like, would I personally do it? Most of the time, no. I wouldn't. You know, blind dates is always a good thing. You could always just hope and pray that your friend's friend is not a total nut. You know, so, but that's how it always worked out for me. I found out right away why they were single. So there you go, guys. That's all the advice I have for this video. I mean, I have more, but I gotta end it sometime. I mean, this is already a 40-minute video. I wasn't expecting it to go this long, but I figured, you know what? Valentine's Day only comes around once a year, so why not fucking hit you with a giant fucking extravaganza video? It's an extravaganza. I'll probably like put that in the title or something. Sounds pretty good. You know, I like it. You know, I think it's pretty good anyway. You know, so you know, happy Valentine's Day, guys. How you doing? All right, that's enough. Okay, guys. So this is your YWC champ. This is your relationship guru signing out. And happy Valentine's Day, guys. Once again, if I didn't say it enough in the video.